Hi everyone, this is Lunel and I'm going to walk you through my reading rotations. So these are my English groups. I have 4 different groups and I usually have a magnet that I move down to show my children where we are busy with. This is also how they know what is expected of them while I'm busy on the mat. So I'll first read with my yellow group. While I'm reading with my yellow group, my green group will do activity 1, red group will do activity 2, and blue group will do activity 3. Then I'll read with my red group. While I'm busy reading with my red group, my yellow group will do activity 1, my green group will do activity 3, and my blue group will do activity 2. Then I'll read with my green group. The yellow group will do activity 2, red group will do activity 3, and blue group will do activity 1. While I'm reading with my blue group, the yellow group will do activity 3, green group will do activity 2, and my red group will do activity 1. Now these cards on the poster, they can all be moved, so if I decide that I want to work with my red group or my blue group first, I'm always able to change that around. So the yellow group and the green group, those are my weaker groups, and then the red and the blue, those are my stronger groups. So on the poster you saw that I have different activities, so I'm just going to explain what that would be in my class. So activity 1 would be a blending card. This is just an example of what it can look like. Most of the times my children use their English files, which has all the words in. And then it's also to differentiate it without having to hand out different cards. So the learners would blend, build, and if they have enough time, map it out on their Alkanen boxes. I do not let my children write down the blending cards because most of the time it takes a little bit longer to do. Okay, then we have activity 2 and 3. This is completed in their book, so they would actually have to write this down. So this is just an example of what mine looks like. I usually have mine on my TV screen, and you will see that I have a star there with a 2 and a 3. This is how my children know that it's activity 2 and activity 3. Okay, so activity 2 is word work. This is just an example of what mine looks like. So the learners write the word that matches with the picture provided. The learners who experience barriers to learning or who struggle may use their English file for support. The reason for this is, while I'm busy on the mat, I do not want to take away the time from the children busy reading to go and help children at the table. I know it might sound horrible, but while I'm on the carpet, the children on the carpet are my main priority in that moment. So the rest of learners need to carry on their own as much as possible. Okay, then for activity 3 we have sentence work. On this particular day my children had to write sentences with the phonics words they had, and again you'll see my 4 different groups over there. So the learners have to write sentences using the phonics words that they have learned this week. Other ideas for sentence work might include parts of speech. So you might have an activity where they have to circle the verbs or circle the nouns. Then tenses, so they have to rewrite something in present tense or in past tense or in future tense. And then punctuation, where they might have to go and fill in capital letters, full stops, question marks, exclamation marks, commas, etc. And then you'll see that mine is differentiated according to my ability group. So my yellow group, they have the easier words, and I also added a picture for them just to help them. My green group, they do not have pictures because they're a little bit stronger, and I wanted them to try and sound out the words and then write it without looking at any pictures. My red group and my blue group, they are relatively strong, so it's much easier for them to carry on their own. And they also have more words, and most of the words are a little bit more trickier. So that is it from my side. And then just remember that you do the best that you can with what you have, and Rome was not built in one day. Some of us do not have all the resources yet, and we build it up over time. I'm also still building up my resources and trying to find out what works for my class. And I can tell you that every year is different, every class is different, every school is different, so we might not all do exactly the same thing in the exact same way. So do not be too hard on yourself. I hope that helped.